Welcome to the game chat. What is up, Isaac? How are you?
Not much, Ryan. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sir. Happy New Year. Everybody's safe and well taken care of, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, everybody's good. Yourself? House is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Family's
we're
good.
we're good. It actually feels a little bit like winter. We've had 80-degree days. It was like 75 to 80 degrees from Christmas until just yesterday. And then today it's like, 40, and it snowed like 20 minutes from here. So,
we've just got cold. It's just cold here. Yeah,
okay.
that's Ohio.
We actually had to turn on the heat, which is the first time in weeks. So, anyway. So, cool. So we have a guest with us. You're going to introduce him, right?
We do. Yeah, we're talking about all things 2022, kind of wrap up of last year. Looking forward to what we're doing this year, and I want to invite one of my friends, one of my teammates over Game of Sidekicks, and this is Stuart, aka the Conductor, joining us today. Stuart, thank you for joining us, sir.
Hey, happy to be here.
Always a
What's up,
pleasure.
Stuart?
Always a pleasure. So Stuart is part of our team of four. So for those that maybe aren't as familiar, Game of Sidekicks, we've talked about this a little before. We started as a Dice Master page with a different title, with about 20 of us doing Dice Master stuff, and 4 of us continued on and decided to focus on board games. And Stuart, myself, JT, and Randy kind of make up the quad of the team. So Stuart
cool.
graciously agreed, thanks to his wife Rachel, to join us tonight. So thank you,
That's
Rachel.
Awesome. Agreed.
Very cool. Well, it's good. It's good to see you on here, Stuart. So looking forward to chatting about some games and what we got during the holidays and all of that. Yeah. So the logo on the wall. How do cool people like you all get logos like that on our walls?
You're literally stealing my thunder from my favorite Christmas gift.
Oh, no. We won't do that again. We'll wait. So,
I've got it like right here. We'll get back to that thing.
Sounds good. All right. So what are we starting with tonight?
We've got an opening question. It is as it is the new year, as we're sitting here January 3rd, and people do make resolutions. I don't make a lot of formal stuff written down. I know some people do, some people don't. But like, what's some stuff you guys are thinking? Resolutions for 2022. Like, what's weighing on your heart? Something you really want to focus on, or make some changes, or maybe you're in the process of and you'd like to continue with.
Stuart, you got one?
Yeah, I've got 2. One is I just want to be more available to my family and to my friends.
Okay.
So in whatever capacity that is, whether that's hanging out, whether that's just being available, not being on my phone, just being around, being more active with my kids. My 4-year-old son just started tennis lessons today, and so that was really fun. So I get to the flexibility of my job allows me to take him to the gymnastics and to tennis and pick him up from school most days. So that's one of my big goals. And my second one is to continue with my health physically. I got to a pretty heavy place in the last couple of years, and the last quarter basically of the year, I've been able to lose 50 pounds, and I've got another 15 or 20 to go until I kind of hit where I want to be.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I've got the health goal and then the mental goal. The health goal, I'm the most sedentary I've ever been because of working from home now, and it does something to you. So I'm going to try to get up and get around a little more, and be a little more intentional about my activity this year. And then also a couple of years ago, I started reading books on like as a goal for the year, and I think I plowed through. I think I was trying to shoot for a book a month. Of course, this is going from like reading a book a year. And I hit like 9 or 10 that year. But I remember how good that goal felt just to chase after. So I think I'm gonna get back into reading like I had been. So
that's awesome.
Look at Bob coming in strong with responsibility.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I mean the health one's also important, right? Like I had my yearly physical through work that they make us do. Blood pressure's a little high, so I've been trying to really focus on process stuff. Like I try to work out, I try to stay healthy, but I do eat a lot of processed stuff because it's quick and easy. you work the late hours, it's a quick thing at home. So trying to eat a little more clean. I'm kicking up the veggies and the fruits way more and trying to get that down. So I've lost a little weight, got the blood pressure down to where it needs to be, and trying to head the right direction is good. But yes, more cheesesteaks, Bob. Those are treats. It should be the exception, not the rule, right? That's what I'm trying to
I
go
was
after.
jealous of that photo.
Oh man, Bob took us out there to South Philly to I forgot the name of the place. Jim's, I think. Jim's on South. My gosh.
Man.
Like that grill looked like something that hadn't been cleaned since 1984, right?
Ooh.
Like that. You're like, oh, this is a grill you want a cheesesteak off
There
of.
we go.
Like it was amazing. But again, not the normal thing I should be eating.
Yeah.
So trying to be a little more resolute in the decisions we make. And I like the reading thing too. Try to be a little. Most of my reading is rule books, so try and change that up is a good idea.
Yeah. Very cool.
So our next question we had, which leads into what Ryan kind of started us with, was what is your best non-game gift or gifts that you've gotten for Christmas this year?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and start because we kind of already started about. So it's two things. One, we have a local t-shirt company called Jupe Mode that makes retro t-shirts, and they actually get with companies that if you've been in Toledo, you kind of know some companies that have come and gone, maybe stuff from your youth. And my wife got me like 3 of them. This was one of them. Major Magics was like think like Chuck E. Cheese, but local place that closed years ago. Went there all the time. My grandparents, like tons of memories. So it was really cool to get a shirt repping these guys. I got another one from the old school video store that used to exist here. Like it's cool because they got with the families that still exist from these places, and then they give money to a charity or to something for the use of the logo.
Man, that's really cool.
Yeah, I like what they're doing, local stuff. But the other thing we got, Stuart gifted myself, Randy, JT, and himself one of these amazing creations from Angelica, right? Or no, Angelica
Lazari.
Lazari, and she made these amazing woodcut.
That's incredible.
Signs with our logo, and this thing's huge, right? I have a pretty fat head.
That's really cool.
I mean, the detail on this thing. If you want to go full screen, right?
Yeah.
Pull that in for.
Let's see here. There you are.
Yeah. They came out better than I ever could have imagined. It's so cool.
So cool.
I mean, you can see the detail, the precision on this thing. This thing's gorgeous. Like it's hard, like looking at it, it just looks so great. And I think the black background just helps it all just pop like crazy.
Absolutely. That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, Stuart, very, very awesome gift. Man. Super surprised on that one. And she did an amazing job with those.
That's cool. Yeah. That's really cool.
High quality, definitely recommend her. I think it's Laz and Light. Laz and Light. Yeah, Laz and Light Studios.
Okay.
And she does an annual Christmas ornament every single year too. And so I've got, I think 2 or 3 years worth. So I give those to my friends too. I just order a dozen of them and we hand them out. And everyone knows that, hey, what's the ornament this year? I'm like,
that's really cool.
To find out.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm trying to look up a website maybe.
Yeah, see if
I think she does most of her stuff through the Facebook. She's got a Facebook business page. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And we'll try to put it in the show notes. So
perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. Stuart, how about yourself, sir?
So as part of the health binge I've been on, I've been cooking a lot more at home, which has been great. Not great for dishes and cleaning, but a lot better for everything else. So Rachel got me a couple cookbooks. And one of the things that was a revelation for me when I got together with JT Isaac and Randy most recently, I was introduced to sous vide cooking. I had no idea what that was. And so we did some steaks like that. I was like, oh, this is amazing.
That's really cool.
So I've been doing a lot of that. I've been doing that mostly with steaks, but sometimes with some fish and with some other things. And so Rachel got me this effortless sous vide cooking cookbook.
Very cool.
It's got all kinds of stuff. It's got veggies, it's got eggs, it's got poultry, chicken, all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited to try at least one of these a week now and try to mix up my my cooking.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
I got a Joshua Weissman cookbook from my wife this year. I was very excited about that. It's a nice book.
Nice.
Mine has to be the Jeep Rubicon Lego set that my wife got me. this right here. I'm halfway through it, and I have a hard time with Legos because I can sit there until 4 in the morning and just build everything and be done with it. Or I can like savor it and take it in little pieces, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm halfway. I'm done with bag 1. I'm moving on to bag 2, but I'm afraid I'm going to be done with this before the end of the week. I could have been done with it days ago, but I don't know. So it's a struggle. I want to savor it, but I also want to see the thing built. So
yeah, we used to do so many Legos with Ethan when he was younger, and just nonstop. We haven't done Lego sets in a while.
Well, that's the thing. Like they grow out of it at a certain point, or they grow. I never grew out of it, but like my kid, so Josiah was super into Legos for a long time, and then 13 years old, somewhere around there, like late middle school, it was like kind of fell off a cliff. He loves Legos, but we just don't build them like we used to. This is a custom, those tumblers that have like the polyurethane setup thing. This is a custom build of one that was that my brother ordered me. I'm a huge Halloween fan. This has Michael Myers, and then tons of like clippings of newspapers and stuff like that, and some like really cool references all hidden inside there. But a real, like, this is a legit zipper. Hold on, let me make my screen bigger here. This is an actual zipper that is inside the polyurethane,
like fused into it. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's pretty amazing. Like, it is the most excessive drinking vessel I own. Like, and I've been using it all week, of course.
To have.
But it's excessive. So, and I'm enjoying it. So,
we got Josh Schwartz in here. Listen, Josh, we're not going to hurry. No one's going to watch the Browns, so it doesn't really matter.
They're already eliminated. It's all good, dude.
That's true.
And Chad's nailing it. He's got it.
Yes,
he knows. You spend a little time with you.
Yeah, Chad knows my love for Halloween, so I'm all things Halloween. So, speaking of Chad, Blazin', where is it? On this side? This side. Okay, Blazin' comes to Kickstarter tomorrow. You're going to be able to find previews on both Gaming with Sidekicks and oneboardfamily.com. So
yes, yeah, and you are going to see, if you thought the Kohaku tiles were impressive, wait to see what he's going to do with these animal pieces from the.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of excessive,
they're going to be amazing.
It's good. It's good. So
they're going to be amazing.
Good stuff.
All right. So our next thing up, we talked about gifts that we liked. What about stats? The gifts we make to ourselves.
That's right.
I like to track my games. I know
Always.
I asked you guys like to also. I've been doing that for a few years. I'm really interested kind of where'd you guys hit, where'd the numbers hit. Obviously it's an off year in a lot of different ways for a lot of us. But what did the BG stats look like? What stood out? How many games you play? Who'd you play the most with? What really stood out in your stat line?
So one of the things that I did this year that I hadn't done in years past is, in BG stats, there's a location setting that you can use. And I used to use it just nowhere or unknown or whatever, the default. And then when I was at work, to kind of categorize like how many games I play at work during our lunch breaks. What I did this year was anytime I played a game online, I would put BGA or TTS or something like that as the location, so that I knew how many games I was playing online versus in person. And that's the first time I've ever done that. One of the things that impressed me it surprised me this year was the amount of games of Luxor me and Aaron played. I mean, we played like 30 something games of Luxor, sitting in bed with a laptop or tablet, just playing back and forth. It's like, hey, it's late, one more game. It played so smoothly on BGA, and that was kind of our online game of the year for us. So
yeah, that's so was that on BGA or Sovereignty?
So that was on BGA, and then we played Sovereignty. We played Cover Your Assets and what is it? Skull King. Skull King.
Skull King
So,
on there. Yeah.
yep. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
so
it's so much fun just sitting there playing, talking smack to each other at ending the day,
So Vronti's gonna be we're gonna get Danny on here, right? We're gonna talk about
Yes.
what they're doing at some point. But I know you at One Board of Family has one. We're gonna have one through Game of Sidekicks. We're gonna have a little code that you can use to get on there. But
Yep.
man, like what they're doing is just lights out, and
It's really good.
it's pretty impressive for online play. Even online play, like you said, just sitting next to, like, sometimes my wife and I just want to sit on the couch. So
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
play Ticket to Ride because it's the easiest
Mhm.
in app to kind of do that. But yeah, they got some good stuff. So I like
That's good.
Josh's resolution, by the way.
Where's Josh's resolution? Okay.
Third down.
One of my resolutions is to keep my stats all year instead of like 3 months. It definitely takes dedication. I've gotten to the point that as a game is coming to an end, as we're finishing up the game, I kind of pick up my phone, make sure everybody's added to that game, and then set it down for scorekeeping. You get into a rhythm though once I keep about 90%. I don't keep a ton of games when I don't keep all the games when I go to conventions, and if we're in a rush and we just throw a game on the table really fast, those are the two exceptions, So,
Stuart, where are you at with yours?
Yeah, mine was down about 40% from the year before, just no conventions, and
Right.
work ramped up for me with 2 kids, and so it was kind of wild, but it was still good. I did 20% of my gaming the week I was in Ohio.
There we go.
that I logged.
We got a lot of games then.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to March. But yeah, my top 3 or my top 4 were Dice Throne, Skull King, On Mars, and Tapestry.
Nice.
So a
It's
good
a wide
mix of
variety for sure.
Yeah, a very wide variety. And Rachel was number 1 on my list here in terms of played with, but
Yep.
not far behind was my buddy Brad and then JT. So
It's awesome.
Yeah, Aaron's my most played with, and of course, Unmatched ended up being the top for the year, as is most years. So yeah.
What was the record on Unmatched for the year between you two?
That was the crazy part. Aaron had me by 1 game this year, I believe.
So
Wow.
close.
Let me see, Unmatched. She had me by no. So let me filter this by year.
Yeah, that
Oh
could be
no, I had Aaron.
Uh-oh.
No, I had Aaron. Okay. I
Yeah,
think
you
I
gotta
had, when I was looking at it previously, it was all years.
get-
Yep. I have her by about 3 games.
Well, you're gonna have to let her know.
But
now.
all time it's about tied.
Oh,
Wow,
no, don't
that's
worry.
impressive.
As soon as this ends, I will tell her. And she will immediately take it behind her back. She'll have a box of Unmatched and she'll be like, good, let's go.
Let's go. Bob, give her the warning. Let her know.
There we go.
So yeah, so for mine, I set a goal for 500 plays. I hit pretty much finished at the end of the year. I hit 506.
Nice.
One of my favorite things with this app is seeing who you play with, right? And I love that even in a weird off year, I played with 108 different people. Like that's the best part of this to me. It's and I miss a lot of convention ones also, but getting to play with friends, with family, with people they get to know, like through church, through work. Like I've started taking some small box games into work and tracking those has been fun. And Susan, my wife's the one I played the most with. We played 308 games this year. And as the kids have gotten older, Ryan and I can speak to where Stuart will be at some point, right? Where you've got time. The kids are doing other stuff. And like, do you want to get a game out? Like, sure, we can play a game because it's easy, it's social, and it's light. And
I will say my 4-year-old son, he got Spider and Friends Yahtzee.
Oh.
And then for the next 3 days, he specifically asked for it by name to play.
That's perfect.
So we played that in Connect 4. It was pretty cool. Yeah. So we're starting them young.
That's cool. That's really cool. So this is the first year that this has ever happened. Finished my 10 by 10. So
that was close. I would have finished at 9 by 9.
Never done that. So Yep.
But I like too that I like Susan is who I played with the most, but then it's followed by Ethan, and Ethan and I kind of similar. Like we've always played lots of games, and he'll still be the first one to play a game with me, and without question, he'll play some really bad games with me. He sat down to kind of muddle through some stuff with me, and he'll look at me. He's brutally honest with these games. He's a brutally honest kid. He's always been that way.
Can
And
Ethan
so
give my
I
kids
value.
help
Oh
in that
man, like
area?
he loves it. We love spending time together. So
Yeah.
it's it works fun with that. But the thing I've been doing this year with certain games, and I don't do it with like smaller games, but like on Mars, right? Or like the times we played Weather Machine, is I start the timer on the app because there's a
Oh
timer in
yeah,
the game,
yeah,
because I'm really curious with certain groups of people how long,
hmm
like, is Kanban really a 2.5 hour game? Does it really
yeah,
take me 4 hours to play it when this guy's at the table? Just to
yeah.
kind of have an idea. But one of the main reasons I keep the stats is it's an opportunity for me to work almost as a concierge for
hmm
friends. So I can go
Yes.
on here and say, oh, then last time that I got together with Ross and his wife, like they played these, or last time Jason and Becky were over, did I teach them this game that we were talking about? Let me check. Oh yeah, we played it on this date, and then we can kind of jump into
hmm
it. So it's worked really well as an opportunity for me to say, hey, let's play this. You remember this game? We played this on this date. Like,
Yep.
oh yeah. As opposed to me guessing through the walls of games and hoping that
Yeah.
something's gonna stick. So
Well, I love it when somebody says, "Oh, remember that one game about animals that we played that one time?" I'm like,
You're
yes.
right.
You're
"Ugh."
like,
And
oh,
so,
it had figures in it.
yeah, and so it's really cool
Had
because I
meeples.
can look back
Yep.
and look at the app and say, "Oh, that's the one."
Yep.
So that's exactly what happened. We were playing something the other night, and they were like, "What was that one game?" I looked back real quick. It was a year ago. Found it, and then we played it. So yeah,
It's perfect.
yeah.
We're wrapping up the holiday season.
hmm
We're kind of coming to that post-holiday lull. We had Christmas, we had break, we had
The
travel, we
sugar,
got to get together. Oh,
the
way too
sugar
much sugar.
dive. Oh man, if I don't
But
see any more cookies, I'm fine. You know,
man, no
jeez.
kidding. But we got a chance to play some fun stuff. I think a lot of
hmm
us. I've seen some pictures from all of us, from the three of us. So what were your like top three experiences in gaming, or something new you had that got to get to the table, or even something you've had for a while? Like what really stood out to you? We can kind
hmm
of go round robin, everybody take one and pass around. So Stuart, if you want to start as our guest, something that
Yeah.
really set you off this holiday you really enjoyed.
Yeah. I don't have the whole box here because it's way too big, so I just have one of the little expansion boxes. But I finally got to the, well, should not finally. It only came out a couple months ago, but I got to play Unsettled, and so this is one of the planets. This is Planet 3,
Okay.
but I got a couple runs of Winora in the phase 1 and the phase 2 with 4-player games, and it was just a blast. It's so much fun. The components are so great. I mean, ONEB just it's only this and Vindication, but I love both of the games that they've done. It's kind of insta back for me. Anything that
Nice.
they do. They just seem like a really fun group of people too on their webcast and their wormhole stuff, and it's just a blast. It was brutal. Like the planet is really trying to kill you,
Mm.
and you really have to work together. And but it's fun. You don't. There's not a lot of co-op games that are fun for everybody, and everybody had a blast. And it's
Yeah.
really hard to be the alpha gamer and like run the show in with that game.
hmm
I don't know what they did or how they did it, but you can't really alpha game it because you literally have no idea what's happening the next turn. So you're trying to plan, but you really can't, and everyone's trying to do their thing, and it's asymmetrical, so everyone's got a different ability too, and so it was just a blast. I had so much fun doing it, and knowing that there's 6 planets and 3 different you know tasks on each planet to accomplish. I know it's just got so much more life to it, so I'm excited
That's
to
cool.
finally get some groups together and do that on a fairly consistent basis.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I was telling you guys earlier that sometimes it's hit or miss buying a game for Aaron for Christmas, and it was a hit this year. Floriferous from Pencil First Games went ahead and picked this one up right before Christmas and wrapped it up. And I was actually not giving Aaron a game this year. And then I was like, you know what? She really likes Herbaceous. She loves the artwork in this. I'm going to pick this one up for her. So picked it up, and we have played this twice a day for the past 3 or 4 days. This was the first, for the past 3 days. This was the first game that we bust out at the start of 2022. We woke up New Year's Day and played it. It is really, really, really good. And so if you like set collection, if you like really beautiful artwork, these watercolor flowers are gorgeous, and it scales really, really well. At 2 players, we really enjoyed it. At 4 players, it was just tough and difficult, and scores were low, but it was really fun both ways. So yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I love that game. We had a chance to do a preview on that one. I got my copy sometime recently. I haven't cracked it back out, but there is little that Pencil First does that I don't like automatically enjoy. Like Herbaceous Sprouts.
Yep.
What's the
Skulk
Whatnot
Hollow
cabinet is so good. Skulk Hollow is great.
Yeah,
they're all solid.
I haven't played Whatnot cabinet, so
it's smooth, and it's similar to Flurfist in that it's quick. Like it's got a lot of thought, but it's a 15-20 minute game.
Okay.
And again, art's beautiful on it.
I need more of those.
Oh yeah, no kidding. So one of my experiences that Bob has introduced me to at Origins and that we continued at PAX was playing a game that plays up to 8 players and is a confusing game for people when it hits the table, but once it hits, right? I know we've talked about this, but Fuji Flush is like, this is the best thing Bob's ever done for me, and this pretty much was introduced this game to me. This game is a hit. Like, I don't know why this isn't still on the shelves everywhere. Like, this is
makes no sense.
Game for 6 to 8 players. We played it at 4, and it was still fun at 4.
Yeah.
But at that 8 player mark, when you got 3 or 4 couples together, it's so fast. It's so Sorry, Bob. He'll leave now. So, it's so fast. It's so smooth. It's so good. Like
it is.
Cannot understate how much you need this in your collection. It's been out of print for a number of years. You can get it on eBay at a good price, $14-15.
Yeah.
But man, it's like every time we introduce it to different people during the holiday season, instant hit.
We played it during New Year's Eve multiple times. It wound up in our 10x10 this year. It hits the table a lot, and it's the one game that my oldest daughter, who is kind of our cautious gamer, she looks at the package and investigates how much time it's going to take her to spend playing it, and sure enough, she'll play this every time it hits the table. So
nice.
Yeah, Chloe's the same way.
My next one,
she's an investigator of boxes.
Yep.
My next one, speaking of which, was my wife was like, "Wait, it's a flipping right? Why is the box so big?" I'm a little late to the table, but I got it on the second Kickstarter, and that is Cartographers.
Nice.
So I heard such great things from everybody, and I missed it on the first Kickstarter. But I picked that up, and it's been a really big hit in the house. We've got probably half dozen plays of it already. It's been a blast.
Nice.
We played it on New Year's Eve as well. And it's just fun, especially with the colored pencils. If you're playing a 4-player, at least this box, the big box came with the colored pencils, so you don't have to draw the shapes in anymore. You can just go at it with the colored pencils, so you feel like you're creating this cool landscape as well. And then it's like, oh great, we're on round 3 and none of the monsters have come out. This will be fun.
That's
so
cool.
it's just a blast. Like the trading of the cards element is really neat as well. Trying to get it on the map where the opponent's not going to like it. So it's just fun. It's easy. It's quick. I got the little play mat that came with it too. And man, those things really, like getting the individual play mats for the games is such a helper, because it has all the iconography you need, and it has the setup, and it's just, man, it's so much easier to run it, especially the first time and with new players. So yeah, that's the one I've really enjoyed. This one.
That's cool.
It's great.
That's
And it's
awesome.
got like 6 or 7 different maps now that you can do, and they're all A/B sides. So
Oh yeah,
That's
well,
really cool.
good playmat, like you said, with something like that, or like I love my Welcome to playmat, especially for new
Yes.
players,
yeah,
because it's
same.
even
Mhm.
distribution is on there is so nice, right?
Mhm.
It's a nice setup.
Yeah, I was late getting the Welcome to playmat. I got that after the first year it was out, and yeah, it's great. I love that playmat. So, buried treasure. You're going to see this in a video very soon. We have a new series that's coming this year in 2022. But buried treasure is really, really good. It is far better than I expected it to be. It is ruthless. It is
So ruthless.
vindictive. It
I
is.
love it.
It makes family enemies. We played this 7 or 8 times during the holidays. I mean, it is so good. Erin was worried about getting buried treasure out because she was like, we played it like 3 times this weekend, and so she was like, I'm afraid I'm not going to like it at the end of the weekend, but I keep wanting to play it. So this one's really good. We played it a lot, and you're going to see it in a video very soon. So
Yeah, we played it on New Year's Eve, introduced it to some friends, and yeah, it's a choose your enemy, as
mhm.
Bob said. Like, you can just be so ruthless. And the crazy part is that 2 players, it plays the exact same way. And I don't know if you played it 2 yet.
Yes, so we did that.
Holy
We were
cow, that's so
right after
neat.
Christmas, man, right after Christmas, Aaron and I sat down and I was like, listen, I'm not much for like modified 2-player rules because usually they're just not that great.
Yeah, yeah.
This one is fantastic. Like, it makes the decisions more difficult. It
Yep.
makes picking on the other player like even harsher. I love the 2-player rules. Aaron was not a fan because I beat her into the ground with points. So she was not a fan of that. But it was a lot of fun.
But I love a ruthless game like that doesn't overstay its welcome. Like, give me something like that
Absolutely.
that's 20 minutes. We can beat
Yes.
up on each other and then we put it away. But, you know,
Yep.
and everybody's got to be lighthearted and want to have fun with it at the table. But man,
Yep.
when I sat down and played that at PAX with
Oh,
it was one of the brothers Murph demoing it.
yeah.
I was like, sure, I'll whatever. I was waiting for Jazz, and oh my gosh, I was like, I need to buy this right now.
So
This
good.
is stupid good. So
Yeah. Yep.
super good pick. My number 2 pick is we were just talking about this a minute ago, but this game jumped to the middle of my top 10 list. It just hit yesterday at top 5,
Mhm.
and it's from Pandasaurus, That Time You Killed Me. This is the best 2-player game I played this year, 2-player only game. This is such an experience. Remember when we talked with Danny from over at Pandasaurus? They had a graphic designer who exists in like Hollywood art do this. Like, he's
Mhm.
not a game designer, so the art's very unique. It's got 4 legacy boxes that you kind of progress through as you play, and the
Mhm.
story opens with like you and your opponent are time travelers. One of you invented time travel and the other one's a murderer, and you keep
Mhm.
going back further in time to murder the other person, and so
Mm.
you don't know which one of you is the good guy and which one of you is the bad guy, and you're trying to figure it out.
That's
But
cool.
similar to Shobu, it's got 3 boards,
Mhm.
past, present, future, and things you do in the past can affect things into the future. Like, one of the things that's really neat with it is like you can plant a seed in the past that grows into a tree in the exact same spot in the future to kill somebody. Like,
Mhm.
Ethan and I just kept talking about like the visuals and like playing out like, I did this and you were staying in this spot, and all of a sudden you look down, a tree came up and blew you up in the ground, and
That's
like it was just
cool.
such a fun, like, he wanted to play this and would not stop wanting to play this. I just checked. We've played this 14 times in the
Really?
last like 5 days.
Oh god.
That's
Like,
crazy.
some of the games are 5 minutes. Some of them
Yeah.
took
Yeah.
20, 30 minutes. But man, like, everything you did, you wanted to know what's the next part of the story going to be. We're still
Yeah.
not finished with the story. And
That's cool.
it's like, it was just fun for him and I. When he'll play games, but when he gets excited about a game, it's fun to see. So
That's awesome.
that's been one of my favorite Christmas break stories.
That's
That
really
definitely
good.
sounds like a game I would enjoy with my
Oh,
time
so much
travel
fun.
addictiveness.
You'll love it.
I
You'll get a chance to play it in March. I'll definitely have it.
I have to go grab my 3rd game, so I'm gonna yell
Okay.
to one of my kids. I'll put myself on mute.
Well, Stuart's up anyway. So,
Yeah.
last thing, sir. What
Uh,
do you got?
Yeah, my third is an abstract game. We're big Azul fans here in this house. One of my wife's favorites, so I picked up another tile type game, and this is Gorinto.
Yes.
So we had our first run of this a couple
I
days
love
before,
Grinto so
or I
much.
think it was the day after New Year's.
Right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you got it in the corner there too. And it was a really quick study, quick read of the rules, and we set everything up and went at it, and we ended up playing it a couple times because it was just so much fun. Um, it was great. I mean, easy to explain, easy to teach, and super thinky. You can't I'm a planner. Like I want to plan out 2, 3, 4 turns ahead and figure stuff out. And you can try to do that, but everything changes every single
Yeah.
turn, so you really
Yes.
don't know.
Yep.
So that was really fun, and it was you've got all the different reward cards, what's gonna score you points each round, and I know there's ways to shuffle those each round too. There's a little
hmm
addendum you can do that. We just kept them the same, and so it was fun to plan. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna sell out and just get this one this round, and then next turn I'm gonna try to set myself up for the other thing. And you're looking around, you're like, oh, what do they have, what do they have? And it was very opposite than the game that we played just before that, which was very solitaire.
hmm
This was very interactive, and so it was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
Did you play just the two of you with it?
No, it was 4-player.
4-player.
Yeah.
So
There is a
Grinto,
5-player expansion, by the way.
yeah,
okay.
it does. Yep. Grinto plays really well at 2 with the modified rules. That's another one, kind of like Buried Treasure, where it changes the rules or changes the structure just a little,
Yep.
and it's actually
like that.
really, really good at 2 players. So I
Yeah.
really enjoy
I
it.
imagine you
sure.
probably get the draft 3 or 4 at that point instead of just
So
the 2 with the 4-player.
we played with the there's actually a team version too that's really good in the variants. But the one where the fox, I believe it is, that it's picking one off the board each time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it worked really well. So
Well, 4 you only draft 2 pieces, right?
mhm.
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
it?
only
Yeah,
2 per
it's
round.
it's tight at 2
Yes.
at
Yeah.
4
Yeah,
players.
And
there
I
was one. We
lose
got one
every
where it's
time.
like you can't score until all 5 elements have something on it. And so I was doing the math. I was like, well, it's probably round 3 at this point.
Yeah. That's rough.
So yeah,
The
it
one
was great.
difficult.
Just before Christmas, we picked up a copy of Micro Macro Crime City Full House, which is the sequel to Micro Macro's first one. I never played the first one, but because it was out of stock by the time I tried to get a copy. But I picked this one up right before Christmas, and all throughout Christmas break, right after Christmas, we played this a lot. I love this game. It is Where's Waldo on steroids. There
Yes,
was
it is.
only one. There was one case. I'm halfway through the game now. I think there's 16 cases. I've done at least 8, 8 or 9. There's only one case where I felt like it was really cheap. Like there's a piece of information that I didn't feel like they let you know, and it was just real obscure right in the middle of the case. Otherwise, I really, really enjoy this. This is going to be one of those that kind of like the slow burn of like building a Lego set. I'm trying not to burn through this game in 2 weeks. But I'm really liking this, and I like the fact that my kids have jumped in on it. I throw the paper down on the dining room table and say, "Here's a case, go for it," and they'll tackle it and try to find it. So,
Did you get your magnifying glass out?
yeah, the magnifying glass is kind of sucky. It's not
You
like
need a lot of light for that game.
you really do. So I played it under low lights, and then I played it
Oh.
in the other room where we have like a big overhead light that has like
Yep. You gotta
360
have
watt
that.
bulbs. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hard game to see if you don't have the right light, but it's fun. Is this
Yeah.
the family version or just the straight up sequel?
This is the sequel. So it's
Okay.
a Full House. It's got some little warning things on there. Hey, this one has
Graphic.
drug use or whatever in it.
Yeah,
And
because
so
the first one gets a little violent,
yeah,
in some of the depictions. So,
yeah.
but I heard
I
they were doing a family friendly
Yeah,
version.
this one's not the family version. So, but it tells you very clearly. It's got a little
Yeah.
thing. Hey, if
Be
you're
ready.
playing this one with a kid, you might want to skip it. So,
So my third thing, we had a chance to go down to South Carolina to spend some time with my sister-in-law and her husband, and I actually have never met her husband. And so we went down, kind of went with the like, hey, this should be a good time. Looking forward to hanging out. And we were down in an area very close to Firefly Games. That everybody that's told me they've been down to South Carolina, like, you got to hit up Firefly Games. It was one of the coolest game stores I've ever been in my life.
Nice.
Full arcade in the game store, tons of room, bunches of games, stuff I'd never even seen like in the US, like
Wow.
like German release stuff. And when we went, they had a bunch of stuff you could check out. My brother-in-law went with us because he didn't want to go hit the coffee shops and the boutiques with the girls. And I thought, well, I was kind of hoping just be Ethan and I, because we'll get to play the games. But okay, he's gonna go. So they go right to the pinball machines, and I'm just looking at every game on every shelf. Right. And I finally said, okay, Ethan, let's try and teach Shane something, see if he likes a game. And we'd been talking about Marvel a little bit, so I grabbed Marvel Splendor off the shelf. I haven't played Marvel Splendor. I wanted to try it out. It was fun. It was a little bit more gamey version of Splendor, but it's still Splendor. And man, he loved it. He jumped right in. He's like, this is a lot of fun. He was talking about that game for the next 5 days. And I was like,
That's cool.
I wish I would have bought it for him. And then he wanted to play the games we brought. So we brought out Fuji Flush, and we brought out Strike, and we brought out Super Mega Lucky Box. And we ended up buying him a copy of Marvel Splendor and sending it to him. And his wife said she was ecstatic. Christmas Day, we got a text from her that they had played like 3 times, and he was sure that he got a rule wrong because she won every time. I was like, oh, look at that.
That's
funny. No, that's how it works.
Yeah,
like you're gaming, he's learning right away.
That's really good.
It just goes to this thing that we always talk about, right? With our motto, Game of Sidekicks, with it's the games we like, but it's the people we love, and like it just creates that bond with people, and creates that social lubricant that led for just some really fun experiences, stuff I'm never going to forget. And, it's fun. Like, it just brings people together around a table. It's cliche and we say it all the time, but it literally brings people together. Right?
Absolutely.
And it's so much fun.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And like tangent, me, but do you find that, when you introduce games to people that don't traditionally ever game, that 8 or 9 times out of 10, they love it, and then they end up asking you for suggestions, or they're coming back to you for stuff, and you end up finding out they went to the game store, or they bought something on Amazon or whatever. It's like this untapped thing that people just don't know, and then they all love. It's so weird. I fell into it. I mean, hook, line, and sinker. It was fun. I had something pop up. I think I shared it with you guys, with Isaac and the guys, that my anniversary of my first trip to a board game store popped up on my Facebook, like time hop thing.
That's cool.
It's not time hop anymore, but it came up. It's like, oh yeah, I went to the game store for the first time ever. It was back in Austin. And I posted a big thing about it. I was like, my life completely changed 7 years ago because of this random occurrence.
That's really cool.
So, in mostly positive ways. So
also very broke ways. A friend of mine came over. He comes into town every couple of years, visit family, and he sits down. He always plays games with us. And he was telling me we finished up a game of Cape May, and he was saying that was really good. He said, what's interesting, he doesn't play very many games where he's at up in Vermont. And so he said, one of the things that I really enjoy when I come here is you will show me a game and I'm weary of it and I'm not sure if I'm going to understand it or if I'll do well at it. And then I love it. But then you'll show me another game, but I want to play the first game again. But then the next game you show me, I love more than the first game. So I don't know how to feel about it, and I'm like, that's what's up when you just keep falling in love with games.
Welcome to
and then your collection just starts to multiply.
And then he's stuck playing with reviewers like us. You're like, hey, could I introduce you to these 20 games tonight? Do you have time to just play 20 different games? It'll be fine.
So that's really cool. True. Hank said, met 3 of my closest friends at a game store.
Yeah, he's not talking about me, but maybe he's talking about me.
I met 3 of mine I met 2 of mine in Canada, and I'd never even met them before.
That's cool.
Flew out to Canada to play some Dice Masters and end up staying with Randy and JT.
Yeah.
It's true. It's how the magic started.
It's cool.
Yep.
So we talked about games we got as
Mhm.
gifts, but we talked about gifts, but not games we got. So are there some
Yeah.
games you guys got this holiday season that you're like excited to get to the table? You're excited to play? What's new in your collection that you're excited about?
Great Western Trail Second Edition.
Ooh, that's a
Right
pretty
there.
game.
It is, man. So Erin said that she would learn it. She bought it for me for Christmas. She said,
Very nice.
I'll learn it, teach it to me. So we sat down and I'm trying to teach her to the best of my ability. I'm like, okay, make these things concise. We're sitting down with a cup of coffee and we're talking through it. And she's just looking at me. She's like, I know I'll get it. We just have to start. And so we played for
My
3
kind of gamer.
hours. But she really liked it. And she said, I like that a lot. We need to play that again. And so
It's solid.
I think,
It's super
yeah,
solid.
it's so good. And so it's been on my wish list for over 3 years. I took it off about a year ago. And then when I found out about the second edition, that's when I was like, Erin, I find a way to get this. So
It's awesome.
yeah.
Got anything else?
Oh, Dinosaur
throw 'em
Island
all at
Roar
once.
and Write. So I'm struggling to learn this one. I jumped on some YouTube videos. I haven't really sat down and focused in on it, but I'm really excited about it. So I haven't played it yet, but I'm pumped to get that to the table. Hopefully this week. So
Very nice. Stuart, what do you got?
Yeah, I've got two. One, we're a big deck building family of games. We love the deck builder. Dominion was the second game we ever bought at the game store, and I'm pretty sure I own every expansion for it.
nice.
I know a lot of people have moved on from it, but it's just nostalgic, and we love it, and it brings all the feels back, you know.
Mhm.
So,
For sure.
but along that line, we discovered Clank, and we just love that. I love the theme because I love space stuff, and then the board game element. And so I picked up one of the expansions for Clank, and that's Clank Apocalypse.
Nice.
So
Cool.
I'm excited to get this one. Sorry, it's still shrinked, so it's all glossy and glary on the screen here. But I'm excited to add this on there and see what Lord Arrakis or Erraticus or whatever, however you say his name's got in store for us. So yeah, excited to get this one. Rachel's
Is
already
that-
asked, she's like, when are we playing it? When are we playing it?
Nice. That's awesome.
Is that base Clank or is that Clank in Space?
Clank in Space, yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Clank
for
in
Clank in
Space is
Space
really
specific.
good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Clank.
I
in
actually
Space.
have never played base Clank. I've just only played the space one.
Just stick with Space.
Yeah,
think I
space
got-
space kind of levels out some of the things that was wrong with the first
That's
one.
what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Awesome.
So and then I got JT ended up sending games for the kids and for us because we were supposed to all get together before Christmas and didn't actually end up happening. So he sent us some of the games he was going to bring, and he gifted Rachel and I a 2-player game, Curious Cargo.
Oh, yeah.
So I know it's based off of Pipeline, and I remember playing that with
Yep.
you and JT when you guys came out a couple years ago before we were 2-kid family. My pre-baby moon, even though I
There you
wasn't
go.
having a baby. So yeah, I'm excited to get that. And it was funny. He sent me a message. He's like, "Hey, I'm sending you a game. When you guys get ready to play it, let me know. I'm gonna call Rachel and tell her everything she needs to know to beat you and destroy you." I was like, "Neat."
That's great.
I don't think she'll need it past the first game, but cool.
Yeah, that's been on my want to play list for a while. Not with JT, just want to play in general.
That's cool.
Awesome. Well, I've got I actually brought it over here. This was one of the few games on my wish list. Also, Ryan was
Nice.
requested this for my birthday. I had a birthday a few days ago. Susan got this
Yeah.
one for me. So I'm a huge fan of Dinosaur Island. I've never played
Yeah.
Dinosaur World. I don't feel like I need to. I know people have said it's better, but I'm all in on OG Dinosaur Island. So I'm happy with that experience. So I'm really curious. I watched Brian Lewis kind of workshop this on his personal page when he was coming up with it like
Mhm.
over a year and a half ago. So I'm interested to see how this plays. But it does look like it's a meaty rolling, right? So
Yeah. Well, if you learn to play it and feel like just calling me, being like, hey,
I'll let
you
you
know.
know.
Yeah.
Got this also because I wanted my own personal copy of it.
There we go.
This is one of my top 10 played games of last year. Played a ton with my buddies Mike and Steve. It's our end of the night game. No matter how late we finish, we always end with a game of Res Arcana. It usually takes us about 4 turns until somebody wins. This game is so solid when you play it with a good group of people. And my last one was when I actually don't put Bob's comment up there. We don't need to see that.
Golly, Bob. Ugh. Are the dinosaurs in that game as cool as the dinosaurs
like our
that were
Slack
around
channel.
when you were born, Isaac? Oof. Woof.
All right.
Hey,
I've
I'm
got
not the one getting made fun of.
I got some good pictures of Bob from when we were sharing a hotel room.
There we go.
So we need to share some of those, Bob.
Maybe next episode. So
yikes!
After dark episode.
Yeah, game chat after dark, people.
Yeah.
So finally,
it's our 9 p.m. show.
I picked this one up at Firefly because honestly, it just kind of piqued my interest. It had some really good reviews. It's a Pegasus Spiel game only. It's called Doodle Dungeon, art by John Kovalik, who does all the Munchkin stuff that I really enjoy. But it's a draw your dungeon, you strengthen your monsters, and then you put a hero through it. So it looks like it's kind of a roll, drawn, right thing where you're kind of putting can you be the best dungeon master, basically.
That's cool.
And put the heroes to the test. So it had some really good ratings online. It looked like it was one that it was German European release only. So I was happy to give it a try. So some fun stuff we're looking forward to playing.
That's really cool. That's awesome. So seems like we've got some good games to kick off the year with. So,
sure.
And you are actually in the middle of your, Isaac, you're in the middle of your top 10 games of 2021. So people can check that out on all of your social media accounts, can't they?
Yeah, I've been rolling them on Instagram one a day. I got to do number 4 today. And then once I hit number 1, I'll throw the article up that covers all those as well. And kind of go through and probably cover a little quick blurb with each one on TikTok is the next plan. So you can find us, like you said, over Game of Sidekicks with all of our things with that. You can see our most recently posted article from Stuart here. What did you have a chance to share about over on our site? That's a new acquisition for you.
Yeah, so I got a big birthday or Christmas present that was supposed to be a birthday present. Actually, it was supposed to come in August, but it was delayed until actually the week before Christmas. But I kickstarted the Origins Game Theory board game table on
Nice.
Kickstarter. So yeah, I kind of splurged and went all in on it and got that. So I did a big review with tons of pictures, and you can see what a 256 tile Carcassonne game looks like.
Wow.
If you've never tried that on your own.
Wow.
So yeah, it's amazing. It's everything I kind of wanted it to be, and it's so much fun when people come in and then they go up to the game room. They're like, "Whoa, what is this?" And it totally changes the mood before you start playing the game. Everyone feels like it's like, all right, let's do this.
That's really cool.
So yeah, it's really exciting. I'm glad we did it. Some kind of buyer's remorse right at the beginning when it charges your card and you're like, oh
yeah.
Now that it's here and we've played games on it, and Riker loves climbing up on the chairs now and on the bench to play stuff, and so I know it's going to be like a really cool thing for our family to really bond around.
That's cool.
Sure, it's a beautiful looking table.
Yeah.
Ryan, yourself, where might we find you?
Yeah, you can find all our stuff at One Board Family, oneboardfamily.com. You'll see tomorrow we'll have a preview for Blazin'. Which side? That one right there. Gaming with Sidekicks. You'll see a preview there also. And then also this week we're going to be releasing our games that we're excited for in 2022. Rick and myself have put together a list of a couple games. We're paring it down right now, and so that'll be released this week. And then my top 10 of 2021 will probably hit on next Monday. So if I can do the video work, all the B-roll, that will take me hours upon hours upon hours.
All the B-roll. So Rick is part of your site still in 2022?
Yeah, we haven't kicked him out yet. It's been a little rocky, He hasn't shown up for all of our live streams and ridiculed us. That's been my biggest during performance reviews. I gave that one to him, told him he needs to show up for more live streams and make fun of us more. So
That's why I got my
wow.
article in right before the new year.
there we go. There you go. So, oh man, it's good stuff.
Good times are all
So-
around. Well, Stuart, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate
Absolutely.
you,
Thanks for having me, guys. Always a
taking
pleasure.
the time. Always a pleasure. Indeed.
Cool. Well, you all have a great night, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
See ya. Bye.